Alright, take freaking 3. RayeZ Brothers back with it being WrestleMania weekend. We're going to give you guys our top 10 WrestleMania matches of all time. These are our picks, not overall. There's a lot that I had to cut that are really good matches, and I'm sure there's some that I cut that are better than the ones I got listed, but these are mine. He's got his. We don't know each other's. So, let's go. You can start.
Once again, my number 10. WrestleMania 6, The Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan. I mean, if you go back and watch that match now, it's not as great as it was that I remember when I was little, but it was probably the first match that I remember sitting down and watching when I was little, and ever since that match I got hooked on wrestling. I was just a huge Warrior fan, and for him to beat Hulk Hogan, be the champ and the Intercontinental Champion, it was great. Never been done before, so that's my number 10.
My number 10 is Undertaker versus Kane, WrestleMania 14. Great build up to this. Didn't Kane take out Taker for a little bit or something? He did something to him, but anyway, Taker wouldn't fight him because, you know, that was his brother and everything. Finally, he pissed him off enough where he accepted it, and great match. Good build up. That was one of the better matches at 14. Number 9, Rock versus Stone Cold, WrestleMania 17. Was announced right beforehand. It'd be a no DQ or anything goes, whatever you want to call it, same thing. That's the match where Stone Cold, or Vince McMahon came out and helped Stone Cold. Stone Cold turned heel and beat the piss out of The Rock with a chair. Hit him like 10 times or something like that. Beats him and becomes the new WWE champion.
My number 9 is The Rock versus Hollywood Hogan, WrestleMania 18. Not The Rock's best match, but probably Hogan's best match. I really hated putting Hogan on 2 matches on here because I'm not a Hogan fan, just because I found out he's a douchebag outside of wrestling. But here, watch, Anthony's going to say something. You grabbing again. But anyway, it's our video, so I'll say what I want to say. But it was a good match, and I think what really stole it for me was the crowd just going nuts for Hogan returning to WrestleMania. And it was just a good match. Number 8 would be the Triangle Ladder match. Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, and Edge and Christian, WrestleMania 16. Honestly, I think that match was the only match worth watching at that pay-per-view. Really pisses me off because that was the first WrestleMania, first pay-per-view my dad let me get because it was my birthday, and I was very disappointed. But that match was great. You know, the guys put a lot on the line to steal the show, and that's why it's my number 8 pick.
My number 8 would be Edge versus Mick Foley in a hardcore match at WrestleMania 22. Great match, great build up. We seen them 2 weeks before WrestleMania in Memphis at the Super Show. That's when Edge speared Mick Foley through the flaming table right there at the end. Awesome match.
Great.
Number 7 be Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 21. Again, great build up. I think all that, like most WrestleMania build up, started at the Rumble, maybe just a little bit before the Rumble. And them two went out there and had a classic match. Great match. That was higher up on the list, but I moved some stuff around, so whatever. Either way, it's still on the list. Angle versus Michaels, WrestleMania 21.
My number 7 is Undertaker versus Batista, WrestleMania 23 for the World Championship. It was just, to me, it was almost a dream match because Batista was really big at that time, and of course, you know, you've heard me talk about Undertaker millions of times as my top guy, but they went out there to me and stole the show, and a lot of people argue with me about that because I know Shawn and Cena fought in the main event, but to me, I don't know, it was like Batista was out there to prove a point why he was a world champion, and that was a really good match. Oh, crap. Number 6. Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels versus the Nature Boy Ric Flair, WrestleMania 24. Emotional through the whole thing. Got the chills. And it was almost like Flair was back in his prime. I mean, he showed why he was the man that night, and that was just a great match. Even though Shawn got hurt with his ribs, Shawn was still able to steal the show with Ric Flair, and I think that was the best match for Flair to go out on if he'd have really went out.
So that's what I was like to say. I love that match. I actually had that on one of my, that's basically one of my runner-up matches, but in my opinion, it kind of tarnished that match because he wasn't even gone a year. He was back at the next WrestleMania. He didn't wrestle, but then he took off to TNA, and he ain't done jack crap over there except for a good match with Foley. And anyway, my number 6, The Rock versus Hollywood Hogan at WrestleMania 18. Again, great match. NWO come in, Rock challenged Hogan, you know, icon versus icon. You know, they hit him with threw Rock in the ambulance, took a diesel, rammed the ambulance. Great match. Like he said a while ago, probably one of Hogan's better matches. You know, it was solid, but it's probably Hogan's best match he's done, in my opinion, too. So it was more about the crowd in that match than anything, I think. Number 5, Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior, WrestleMania 6. And pretty much the same thing he said earlier. This match was the first pay-per-view I remember watching on VHS. And there's a few matches on that pay-per-view that was really good. Another one of my runners-up was, I believe, Piper and Bret Hart for the Intercontinental Belt.
That wasn't on that match.
Was that not
this
one?
Are you
sure?
Yeah, that was WrestleMania 8. WrestleMania 8.
Okay, well, whatever. That was one of my runner-ups, but it had some other good matches. It's been forever since I went through and watched that pay-per-view, but yeah, that one's more of a, I guess, a sentimental match, because that's what got me watching wrestling pretty much like full time.
I think that was probably the first one that me, you, and Dad sat down and watched. That's when Dad introduced us to wrestling. You done?
Yep.
Alright, my number 5, Undertaker versus Kane, WrestleMania 14. Just a great match. Love the build up to it. And that's pretty much all I got on that one. Oh, sorry. My number 4, Edge versus Mick Foley, WrestleMania 22. Great match. I love Foley. I love when he gets freaking violent. And that match, you just took the cake. Wish Foley would have won that match.
I think that gave Edge a little more credibility too. I mean, he was already a main eventer. He was like the rated R superstar for a year or two by that point, but
yeah,
that kind of solidified him as a tough guy too, you know.
Oh yeah.
What are we on, number 4?
Yep.
My number 4 is Edge and Christian versus the Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys, WrestleMania 17. Yes. And I believe that was the first ever TLC tag match. And that match was great. And anytime somebody thinks of that match, probably the first thing they think of is Jeff Hardy hanging from the belts and Edge jumping off the ladder and spearing him. That's just one of those, even when they play the WrestleMania rewinds and little clips and stuff, that always gets thrown in there. It's just like a great match. Rhino come out, Lita come out, Spike Dudley come out. Great match. Great. My number 3 would be the best triple threat match in WrestleMania history, maybe WWE history. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus Chris Benoit, WrestleMania 20. Another good build-up. Didn't Triple H come into that match as champion?
Yep.
And of course Benoit made him tap in the middle of the ring to the cripplet crossface. Finally become the world champion. Great match.
My number 3 would be HBK versus Kurt Angle, WrestleMania 21. That's it on that one, because you done talked about it. My number 2, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock, WrestleMania 19. Rock finally beating Stone Cold, just like Triple H will beat Undertaker at this year's WrestleMania. But that was a great match. It was sad to see Austin go, but you know, it was just, It was great. It was kind of hard. I had WrestleMania 17 on there, but I don't know, not 19. It was just I don't know if it was just the atmosphere of that pay-per-view or what, but it was a great match.
And surprisingly, like I said, we didn't see each other's list, but my number 2 was also Rock and Austin at WrestleMania 19. And I think the reason I like that one more, their WrestleMania 15 match, you know, it wasn't bad. It was pretty good, but 17 was good, and I think every time they got into the ring, their match got better and better. And of course, I'm a huge Rock fan, a huge Stone Cold fan, but I was pissed when Rock lost at WrestleMania 17, and he come back with his Hollywood gimmick, and finally got one over on Stone Cold at 19. So great match.
And now it comes down to our number 1, and he thinks he knows mine. I think I know his, so we're going to say it together. 3, 2, 1. Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, WrestleMania 25. Great match.
Great build-up.
Yes. Of course, 2 of our top favorites. They just went out there and showed the new school what it was all about. You had 2 43-year-old guys going in there and tearing down the house, and it just shows, man. Once you're great, you're always great.
And then had a bunch of near falls, you know, false finishes and stuff. Great. I liked how it ended too, with Shawn going for the moonsault and Taker catching him and tombstoning him and putting him down. Great match. So I also really liked the entrance, like Shawn coming from heaven, Taker coming from hell. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was just, like I said, and it wasn't even one of the main events. It was like the 4th or 5th match, wasn't it, on the card?
Something like, yeah, about midway through the card.
But that's what everybody wanted to see. Nobody wanted to see that John Cena, Big Show, and Edge crap.
And I think even Triple H or Orton, one of them, maybe both of them, was saying that, you know, they knew that it was going on after them, and was like, damn, how are we supposed to follow that? And nobody did. That should have been the main event, but they went on the next year to main event. And another great match. That was another match I had to cut off my list.
WrestleMania 26.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great match too. To me personally, the 25th one was better, but they were both completely different matches.
26 was a lot more fast paced, and just boom, 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 boom. Where
see, to me, part two was more fast paced.
That's what I said. 26.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Look at him cutting me. Sorry, I won't say another word. But anyway, that's our top 10 WrestleMania greatest matches. Leave your comments and let us know what you think about our list. I know a lot of people ain't going to agree with it, but...
And there's a crap load of matches, like I said, I had to cut. But the ones that are on my list are there for certain reasons. And anyway, if you take the time to comment, feel free to put your matches on there and whatever. Subscribe if you haven't. Like the video. That's it for... RayeZ Brothers for now, and looking forward to WrestleMania on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Looks like this card is the best overall card that they've had in a few years. There's really not a match on there that, well, besides the Divas crap, but I think the rest of them would be pretty good. I would much rather seen Kofi and Ziggler go at it one-on-one instead of this multi-man tag match crap, but you know, whatever.
Yeah,
anyway,
now we're getting off the subject, so yeah,
that's it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever you want to do. Peace.
Remember, Facebook sucks.